Hey, my name is Vero. Today we're going to talk about flower. Maybe you call it bud or nugs or grass. There are many names for it. We're talking about that plant material that is commonly smoked, sometimes vaporized, or even used to make edibles and concentrates at home. We are talking about the flower of cannabis plants. And one of the first things we need to know about cannabis plants is that they can be male, female, or both. But the flowers that we become accustomed to seeing and purchasing in cannabis dispensaries come from unpollinated female plants. These plants grow large flowers covered in resin-secreting glands. These sticky and gooey glands are the star of the show. They are called trichomes, and they are phytochemical factories for the plant. An important group of phytochemicals are cannabinoids. And cannabinoids are the active medicinal compounds of the plant. I know that you know of the two most popular ones. Those are THC and CBD. But there's actually more than just those two. There are over 140 cannabinoids discovered so far, and they're each unique and they have their own therapeutic properties. Another important group of compounds developed in the trichomes are the terpenes, the terps. And the terpenes are aromatic compounds that give cannabis plants its distinct scent. However, they're also partly responsible for the way these plants make us feel. It is believed that it is the terpenes that give each strain its variety. And by variety, I mean sativa, hybrids, and indicas. Most cannabis strains and products are categorized under these varieties, and that is to help patients and consumers predict its effects. So sativas are uplifting and energizing, indicas are calming and sedating, and hybrids fall somewhere in between. It is believed that it is each strain's own unique arrangement of these hundreds and hundreds of terpenes that dictates where in this spectrum each strain falls under. And there are hundreds and hundreds of cannabis strains, and each one's made up of its own unique arrangement of all of these phytochemicals, cannabinoids and terpene profiles included. And it is how all of these compounds work collectively that gives each strain its own unique characteristics. That's why you can have two strains, even of the same variety, feel different and have different effects. My favorite example is Blue Dream and Sour Diesel. These are both sativas and they're both energizing. However, they have different effects and they feel different. For me personally, Sour Diesel has a racy feeling that I do not get from Blue Dream. Also, these two plants, if you were to smell them, they smell different. And if you were to taste them, they taste different. And all of these are tells that they are different, right? Because they're made up of different profiles. And this brings me to the entourage effect. The idea that all parts of the cannabis matrix work collectively to create the overall effect. What this means is that the synergy of all plants is greater than any one compound working on its own. The entourage effect is greater than THC percentage. And I know that may sound crazy, but hear me out. THC is not equivalent to quality. So if a cannabis strain or product is high in THC, it does not mean that it is high in quality. It is also, THC is not indicative of medicinal properties or of overall effects or of potency. Potency is determined by the totality of phytochemicals and the potential of effects when all of these compounds work together. This is whole plant. It is not a pill. It is not monomolecular. It is hundreds of molecules interacting with one another and with our body simultaneously. We need to shift our thinking from quantity of one molecule, THC, to quality and overall health of the plant as a whole, right? Of the whole thing. So how do we go about finding strains that suit us while looking at the whole plant and not just THC percentage? We have to use our senses. First, the nose. The nose knows. We need to smell your flower. Smell the flower. Get your nose in there. Your flower should be pungent. If your flower doesn't have a strong aroma, then it's missing terpenes. And if you're missing terpenes, it's safe to say that you're missing a lot of the strain's effects. So you want a pungent flower. You also want to like its smell. You want the smell to agree with you. If you like its smell, then it's a good chance that the effects will suit you as well. Now, if you can't smell your flower, then we need to look up these terpenes, right? Look up the terpene profile of your favorite strains and let that be your guide when looking for other strains that may also suit you. Next, use your eyes. Look at your flower. Do the colors look vibrant and fresh? Good. Does it look like it was intentionally trimmed by hands with care, or chopped with rough edges like it was done by a machine? It matters because trichomes matter, right? Those glands are delicate, and you want to make sure that the homes of all those precious phytochemicals are cared for and preserved so you can take them home and enjoy them. And finally, find and stick with growers who you trust, who consistently put out quality product and who are reputable. Part of looking at whole plant is doing a little bit of homework into who is growing your flower. Here in Item 9 Labs, we grow ultra premium award-winning flower, which is grown by experienced growers using the finest indoor practices. Our flowers are packaged into large, quarter-sized glass jars, which are free of major obstructions so patients can clearly look in there and examine. There is a label affixed to this jar, and it has some great information on it, such as strain name, variety, total cannabinoid count, and the top 3 terpenes in its profile. This is setting patients up for success. Now, once you get home and you open that jar, the first thing that will be evident is that pungent aroma, right? That bouquet of your flower. You will be able to identify those terpenes right away from those familiar scents, whether it be piney, citrusy, skunky, earthy, you name it. And those trichomes were handled with the utmost care during the trimming and packaging processes, which were done by hand. And like all of our products, always third-party tested. That's gonna be all for us today, guys. If you have any questions, please email me. I love getting your emails. Until next time.